On the record in the matter of Capital Village versus K. Alexander, 24-07128.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ron Brock here for plaintiff Capital Village.
And I see K. Alexander is present in the courtroom. Today was the date scheduled for hearing on this matter. It had been adjourned multiple times. I think there was some things that needed to be fixed and some something needed to be addressed. How are we proceeding at this time?
Now, we've agreed to entry of a consent order for conditional dismissal. There was some payments made recently. Balances down to $1,437. We've agreed she's going to pay that on or before plus March rent on or before 3/26 of 25. And
Yes, thank you. And Ms. Alexander, that's accurate as to how you want to proceed?
Yes,
So you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney on this?
yes,
You also have the right to proceed to trial. You could have demanded a jury trial, and at the time of trial, present any evidence that you believe you have as to why you have not paid the past due.
yes,
You want to waive that?
yes,
Okay, anyone threatening you to do that?
no,
You're gonna pay the past due amount, $1,437. And it says defendant shall pay the past due balance and rent for March 2025, on or before the 26th of March 2025, correct? So, partial performance, partial payment will not satisfy this, so you gotta comply completely as you stated you would there today. Otherwise, the plaintiff can seek to have judgment entered against you and have you removed from the property with any further notice of a hearing from the court. You understand that?
yes,
You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the right that you've given up, you may return to the court within those 3 business days, request to have this set aside. You understand that?
yes,
Any questions for the court? Any additional matters?
no,
no, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set. We'll get your copy in a moment.
thank you.
This is the matter of Edward Rose Associates versus Donna Mitchell, 24-08729.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ron Brock here for plaintiff Edward Rose.
Sorry.
Okay, you are Donna Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for hearing for non-payment of rent. Mr. Barb, how are you proceeding?
We've also agreed to a consent order for conditional dismissal.
You can put the terms on the record. You can put the terms on the record.
Certainly, Judge. We've got rent of $2,999.81. That's due through 3/31/25. Cost of $171.54. The total of $3,171.35. She's going to pay that on or before 3/10 of 25. Approach.
Yes, thank you. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure that's accurate as to how you want to proceed. Okay, so you want the matter dismissed today upon the condition that you pay the past due amount, which includes court costs, for $3,171.34. That's for rent due through a period of the 31st of March. You'll pay that in full or vacate by the 31st of March, correct? Okay, you understand your right to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
You want to waive your right to an attorney? You also have the right to proceed to trial on this matter. You understand that? You want to waive that right? Does anyone threaten you to waive these rights?
No,
Okay, you have to understand that partial performance of this agreement will not satisfy. So you got to pay the full amount listed in 2D no later than the 31st. Otherwise, if you don't fully comply, the plaintiff's attorney can request judgment to enter against you and have you removed from the property without noticing you of any future court date. Do you understand that?
No, I didn't understand. The 31st of what?
March. Okay, well, this is for rent due to the period 31st. Okay, so she's gotta pay it by the 10th? Okay, so you gotta pay it by the 10th, ma'am. Do you understand that? Okay, and otherwise they can notice, or remove you from the property without noticing you of any future court date. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and you have 3 business days from today, stated once you leave here today, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you have. You can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside. You understand that? Okay. You have any questions for the court? Any additional matters, Mr. Bott?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am. We'll get you a copy in just a moment.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, this is the matter of Lansing Property Holding versus Orlando Knox, 24-08934. Appearance, please.
My understanding from Chris Brown that the dismissal was filed on that matter. I had it printed and ready. Do it in my shred file.
It was filed today. Okay, the matter was dismissed. Edward Rose Associates versus Sierra Cedino and Malachi Jones, 24-08733. Appearance, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Ronald Bach, Airport Plane.
Your name, sir?
Howard Road.
Your full name?
Howard Road.
What's your name?
Here. Sitting.
Thank you. Today's the date and the time scheduled for hearing for non-payment of rent. Mr. Bach, how will we proceed?
Yes, we've agreed to consent order for conditional dismissal. We've got rent of $1,321.57. That's due through March 31. The court costs $191.43 for a total of $1,513. That's due on or before 3/10/25.
Yes, you may. Mrs. Sabina, and I'm sorry, Cedino and Mr. Jones, that's accurate as to how you want to proceed. Okay, so you want the matter dismissed today upon the agreement that you'll pay on or before the 10th of March, the total amount due plus court costs $1,513. That includes court costs actually, correct? Okay, and that's for rent due through the period of March 31st, 2025. You understand that you both have the right to be represented by an attorney in this matter. You want to give that right up? You want an attorney to represent you, or do you want to waive the
No.
right? Do you want an attorney to represent you? I don't understand why it has the same signature on it twice. Is it both their names? Is that what's going on here? I don't know, I can't read it, so I can't.
Yeah, it looks like he signed, they both signed on both lines.
Okay, so let me make an and so we know that that's not one full name.
I didn't look at it that
Okay,
close.
no problem. Okay. Okay, so you understand that you also have the right to proceed to trial on this? Okay, you want to give up your right to trial as well? Okay, anyone threatening you to waive these rights? Any promises extended to you if you give up these rights? Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights you've given up, you can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside. Partial performance will not satisfy, so you need to comply fully and pay that amount by the 10th of March. Otherwise, judgment can enter against you without any further notice from the court. You understand that? Okay. Any questions? Any additional matters? Counsel? Thank you. We'll get you a copy in just a moment. Real estate versus Jasmine Collins, 24-08931. They submitted, well, I think, I don't know, sorts. He said he submitted a state. Are they represented by attorney? No, Collins, who do you stick with? He talked to the. He didn't submit everything in. I sent it to him on the 29th. This is just for you. Williams? He sent this morning. I didn't respond to that. And then I said this was I should have back to me. But he has not done that yet. Oh, great. There are one document and filings not received portfolio. I don't know what that means. So well, let me get out of it. What did I do? Yeah. Yeah. So we'll walk over there because yelling across is not appropriate. That was all of it. Sam's Rental LLC versus Cody Grider, 24-08932.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Joseph Cooper here on behalf of the plaintiff, Sam Rental LLC.
What's your name, sir?
Cody Crowder.
Okay, Mr. Grider, today was the date scheduled for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Council, how are you all moving forward on this?
Your Honor, the parties have agreed to a consent judgment, the terms of which are that Mr. Grider will pay to the plaintiff to retain possession $1,550 rent plus $169.65 court costs for a total of $1,719.65. Mr. Grider will pay that on or before March 13th of 2025. Partial payment will not prevent the court from issuing an order of eviction. There is also a money judgment, damages of $666.97, cost of $169.95 for a total money judgment of $836.92.
Yes. Mr. Kreider, is that statement accurate as to your understanding as to how you're going to proceed on this?
Yeah, the top portion, that was the bottom portion.
To the top portion, what?
The top portion, yes, I agree with that.
You're not agreeing to the bottom portion.
Well, I just had a question about it.
Okay, what is your question?
The $666.97, that's prorated rent through today. So that if you were to move out even today, the money judgment of $836.92 county court costs would still be collectible.
Okay. I agree with that.
Is so you are in agreement with moving forward with a consent judgment?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, so judgment will enter today with your consent for you to pay the past due amount $1,719.65. That's for rent due through the period of, is that to the end of the month or to?
Oh, that's through March 21st,
To March 21st. What day does he pay his rent?
on the 21st of each month.
He currently has a past due amount of $1,555.
February rent is $1,075, Your Honor, plus a $50 late fee, and there was $475 remaining owed for January. That's where we got the 15.
Got it. Okay. Very good. So you understand that amount, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and so you'll pay that or you'll vacate the property no later than the 13th of March, correct?
Yeah.
I'm not following here. That's because his information is not in here. I'm gonna give you the Scott,
To fill it.
the
Yes, Your Honor.
defendant section. No problem. What's going on, mine? Oh.
I'd like to fill out your address and phone number. Is that correct, Mr. Great, thank you. We'll get a copy. Thank you, Your Honor. I apologize for that.
Okay, Mr. Brenner, you understand you have the right to be represented by an attorney in this proceeding.
Yes.
You want to give up that right?
If I accept that, does I give that right up?
Well, you can't accept it until you give up the right.
Okay, I give that right up.
Okay, and then you also have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. You can have a jury trial and you can present evidence at your trial that will go to a defense as to why you not paid the rent. You understand that?
Yeah.
You want to give up your right to trial?
I'll waive that.
Okay. Is anyone threatening you to waive these rights?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna sign and date this for today. You have until the 19th to appeal this consent judgment. Otherwise, you have 3 business days. If once you leave here, you realize you actually misunderstood the rights that you've given up, you can return to the court and file a motion to set aside this judgment and explain how you misunderstood your rights. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, you're not.
Money judgment will also enter in the amount total plus damages and court costs $836.92. We'll get you a copy of this in just a moment. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you.
I see you're taking somebody somewhere. Okay. Let's see, Edward Rose Associates versus Emmanuel Alvarado and Elizabeth Redding. Okay, I'm assuming that's Mr. Bach. Have you all spoken to the attorney today? Okay, you can have a seat there. Brown versus Brown, they're here without attorney. Have you all come to a resolution at all?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where Mr. Bach went.
Flores, I'll go grab him.
Well, he had two 230s that he's covering for Herman. And then in addition to that, Brown versus Brown, have they checked in with you?
No, I don't have a Brown.
They're both in the back and they need you to do the mediation.
Your Honor, if I may, trying to seek a judgment so I can apply for assistance, try to help you get back.
That's what she's gonna assist you with.
Okay, thank you.
Roxanne Flynn here. Okay, are you represented by an attorney? Okay.
She's not.
And then Hopebacker Garcia are present? Okay, they're gonna need you to do the same on that too. I think that's all I have. I'm just waiting for Mr. Bach to come back on those two in the back. be seated. We ready on Lockerito and Reading?
And Your Honor.
Okay, Edward Rose versus Emmanuel Lockerito and Elizabeth Writing, 24-08750. Parents, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Ron Barker for plaintiff.
Name, ma'am?
Elizabeth,
What's your full name?
Elizabeth Reading.
And your name, sir?
Emmanuel.
Okay, today was the date set for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Council, can you put the resolution on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, we agreed to enter a consent order for conditional dismissal. Yeah, right, this time the rent, $2,499 is due through 3/31/25 with $191.43 in costs. Total amount due is $2,690.43. They're gonna pay that amount on and before 3/10/25.
Yes. That's accurate as to how you all want to resolve this.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, so you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney? You want to give that right up? You want to waive your right to have an attorney represent you in this matter today? Okay, so I asked you, did you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney? So you do understand that by right, you can have an attorney represent you in an eviction proceeding?
Yes.
Okay, you've appeared here without an attorney and you've entered into an agreement representing yourself. So are you waiving your right to be represented by an attorney you want an attorney to represent you?
Oh, we do not.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, whose signature is here
That's mine.
and whose is this?
That's fine.
Okay, and so let me write your name so that the clerk's office doesn't ask me who. Let's see. Okay, you also understand that you have the right in this matter to proceed to trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you could have had a jury trial, and at the time of your trial, you could present your evidence to support any defenses to why you have withheld the rent. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You want to waive your hearing in trial as well? You want a hearing today? Do you understand what I say when I say, well, I want to ask him, do you understand what I'm saying when I say, do you want to waive or give up your hearing?
No, I do not.
So when I'm asking you that, I'm asking you, do you want to have the hearing or do you not want to have the hearing?
No, we do not.
You do not want a hearing, sir? I recognize she doesn't want. I'm not sure if that's what you want, though. Do you want a hearing, sir, or do you want to go forward with this condition?
Oh, no, go for it.
Okay, well,
No,
then you gotta give up the hearing. That's what I'm asking you. Got it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. I just want to make sure you understand that you're not, that she's not holding a gun to your head to make you do this. That's what I'm making
No.
sure, okay? Because that's my next question. Is anybody forcing you to give up these rights?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Has there been any threats to you?
No, Your Honor.
If she's threatening you, blink twice. You just blink twice.
No, I did not.
She did.
I'm not-
What if I gotta blink twice?
I don't think that you're the one being threatened.
That's fair. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that
Okay,
one.
are you giving up these rights freely and voluntarily? This is not working out well.
Yes.
Okay, okay, you seem very confused.
I'll just go wherever she goes.
I can see that. That's my concern. I want to make sure though that you're individually giving up your rights because these are your individual rights. She can't make you give the rights up. I recognize she might be the boss. However, in this case, these rights are yours. Do you want a hearing today?
No.
Do you want to adjourn this and get an attorney and pay for it?
I didn't want to pay for that.
You just want to pay for the rent?
Yeah.
You don't want to get an attorney and have a hearing?
Yes.
No, you just saying. We don't want an attorney.
We don't want an attorney today.
Not
Or
we.
hearing.
I'm not asking about we, you.
Oh, I don't want an attorney.
Okay, very good.
Or
You
hearing.
have 3 business days from today's date, if once you leave here, you later realize that you actually misunderstood the rights that you've just given up, you can return to the court, request to have this set aside. Otherwise, the matter is dismissed today upon the agreement that you'll pay the full amount, $2,690.43. That's for rent due through a period of March 10th, 2025. You'll pay that, I'm sorry, March 31st is the date that's the rent through for. You'll pay that on or before the 10th of the month, okay? You have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
We'll get you a copy of this. Any additional matters for the record?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set.
What we get? Your copy. Stay for your copy.
Rent due through August 2025.
Yeah, we just got it.
We can do that, but that's why it doesn't make any sense to me. There's no such thing as me taking anything from rent due through August. Let's be current. Let's see, you ready on the other matter?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Edward Rose Associates versus Rasheen Henry, 24-08753.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Ronald Walker here for Edward Rose Associates. Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Rasheen Henry.
Okay, Mr. Henry, today was the date scheduled for hearing and it's for non-payment of rent. Mr. Bach, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, we've also agreed to entry of a consent order for conditional dismissal. We've got $2,882.74 in rent due owing through 3/31/25 with $171.54 in cost. Total amount $3,054.28. He's going to pay that on or before 3/10/25. May I approach?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Henry, is that accurate?
Yes.
You understand that you had the right to appear here represented by an attorney today? You're giving up that right? You also have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter or hearing today. You understand that?
Yeah.
You want to give up that right?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone threatening you to get you to give these rights up?
No.
So the matter will be dismissed today upon the condition that you pay the full amount, $3,054.28 on or before March 10th, 2025, and that's for rent due through a period of March 31st, 2025. Do you understand that? Partial performance will not satisfy this agreement, so if you don't pay that full amount on or before the 10th of the month or vacate for that date, the plaintiff does have the right to have judgment entered against you without giving you any further notice of hearing for the court. You understand that?
Yes.
You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood your rights, you can return to the court and request to have that agreement set aside, okay?
Okay.
We'll get you a copy in just a moment. Any additional matters, Mr. Bach?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Let's see, LG. LG Brown Jr. versus Greg Brown, 24-06610.
Thanks.
Sir, can you excuse yourself from there so these people can come up here? Sir, what's your name?
Brown, LG.
Brown LG?
Yep.
Okay, Junior,
Yes.
and your name?
Greg Brown.
You can remain standing. Today was the date that was scheduled for hearing for non-payment of rent. However, I do have a consent order for conditional dismissal. The past due amount of rent is what?
$4,050.
Why does it say the rent is 6,300 then?
That's it, with the 5 months added that it gave me to, with extra payment to make it up by August.
Yeah, I can't give you, that's why I called you up. I can't give you a conditional dismissal for future rents that have not accrued yet. What's the past due rent?
$4,050.
That's accurate? And that's for rent due through what period?
June, yes, June of last year until current February
So February 1st, he's supposed to pay rent on the 1st of the month,
15th, you know.
the 15th of the month?
Yeah.
So your rent just accrued last week and that is included in this amount, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And let's see. You want to give him time to make payment of this past due rent?
Yes,
And you're gonna give him until August 15th is what you're saying? And the expectation is that he'll pay that and he'll continue to pay his accruing rent on time? Or, okay, it says defendant agrees to pay $1,260 per month over the next 5 months. That will cover the past due rent of $40.50, the current rent of $450. And current of $4. So when are you gonna make the payment of $1,260? When are you gonna, on the 15th of each month, is that what it's
Correct.
supposed to say? You can have a seat, this needs to be corrected and you resign, okay? Well, I can have a seat over here. Oh. Let's see. Roxanne Flynn versus Ozzie Hofacker, Amanda Hoffacker, Andres Garcia, and Estrella Garcia. And what's your name? Sir, what's your name? Your name?
Garcia.
Okay, and then I believe the other person was not had health issues, is that what it was? And you are the landlord, correct? Okay, today was the date set for hearing. This is for termination of tenancy. My understanding is that you want to dismiss the matter.
I changed locks on it, because I thought they were all moved out. Amanda notified my son-in-law on the 7th of February and says that her and Ozzie were out. And then I heard there's no heat or nothing in the home. And I was worried about
The-
the pipes freezing.
Who gave you the authority to change the locks?
Police told me to do it.
The police gave you authority to
They
change
were-
the locks
But
when?
I heard that was on the 21st
The 21st of when?
of this month.
So you knew that you were in the middle of an eviction, but you went and changed the locks on property when you had not heard that all parties had moved out and you. And I just asked you a question. That's yes or no?
Yes,
That's what you did? Are you out of the property?
I have a few things in the garage, I have grandmother's things. that
Did
I
you
need out.
notify them that you had moved?
I had told them that me and Ozzy were out, that they were still living.
Is that accurate? They told you that,
yes.
and that there was other people. So why did you think you could change the locks when you knew
Because I
people were
called
living
the
there?
police and asked the police if they would go and check on the home for me, because I heard there's no electricity, no heat.
I've never heard of police going to check on property because there's no electricity, no heat in the home. I don't care if you call the feds to go check on your property. You know good and well you can't change locks when you're in the middle of an eviction.
So I thought they were all out.
You didn't think that because you got a text message that didn't say that they were all out. That's why you sent
The neighbors told me
somebody.
the moving van was here the day before, that's why I called the police.
I don't care I don't care if the president of the United States told you there was a moving van. You know you have an eviction because I saw you here and I said it for hearing. And unless they all notified you that they were moving and turned over the key to you, you knew good and well it wasn't vacant. That's why you sent the police.
She did.
Ma'am, do you need to step outside for talking out of turn in my courtroom?
And the house should be condemned.
Is it condemned? Ma'am,
It should be
ma'am,
condemned.
I'll fine you in contempt if you want.
It should be condemned. Ma'am.
Is it condemned?
It's not.
Okay, I don't condemn properties. That's the job of code compliance. It's not my job to condemn properties. It's my job to oversee an eviction and make sure it is handled lawfully. You lawfully knew as a landlord or should have known that you do not have the right to change the locks while it's still occupied. You went inside that property before you changed the locks.
I changed locks. I had the police go over there. The locks were locked. I need to change locks. So I had.
You knew the house was locked
Yes.
and that there were things inside the house.
There's everything. There's bed bugs in the home. They couldn't take nothing out of it.
You knew that there were things inside the home,
Yes.
that they still were occupying or possessing the property. And you took unlawful ownership or possession, I should say, over the home.
Yes, I did.
And you knew that was wrong.
I didn't because the neighbors told me they moved out the day before I did.
The neighbors can't tell you someone moved out. That's hearsay,
You're right.
and you should know that. Ma'am,
It was on Facebook, that's how
what was on Facebook?
she was going to lock it, people were telling her to do it, and she was asking people what to do.
What do you mean?
How I found out it got
What was on Facebook?
locked.
What did it say?
It said, what should I do? Homeless people are living in my home.
I didn't know what to do
When was this post?
last week. I
When
think.
she changed the locks today, she changed. the locks.
So you, ma'am, are in the middle of an eviction. You've already been before me and I set it for a hearing. You decide to take to Facebook, ask them what you should do, and then took measures in your own hand.
Because I knew there was no. heat.
No, is that what you did? No,
Yes,
if
I
there's
did.
no heat in your property and you're concerned about that, you come to the court
I know.
and you ask the court for permission to go and winterize the property.
Scared that it was gonna be
You-
busted. Pipes were gonna-
No, you come to the court. You went to Facebook.
I
the
don't
court
know,
of
ma'am.
Facebook.
I've never been through none of this before in my life.
You
I don't
decided
wanna
to
go
be a,
through it now.
you decided that, you decide, apologies are not accepted
Okay.
because you were advised, you've been here. We played a video in here, which you saw, that went over the rights of the people that were occupying the property. And you decided that you would take the matters in your own hands. Well, apology is not gonna be sufficient. Where are you, when are you getting out of the property?
They live in their car right
And you can't get access to your stuff?
now. Oh, every lock is locked, the garage
No,
is where
they
I gotta
busted
get.
me.
Ma'am, talk over them one more time.
Garage just has my grandmother's things that I really wouldn't want back. That's all I'm.
You want to get your items and you have items in there? Okay, and what do you have in there? I'm asking her.
A little bit of clothes.
You have clothes? Okay, where's the other person who never appeared? He's in the Jeep? How did he get in the Jeep?
Not like that.
Can't walk long distance. He has to rest like every.
He's
few blocks.
inside of a Jeep? Where's the Jeep?
Right out here.
Outside?
Yeah, there's no way you'll be able to walk from here.
What do you mean he has no way to, how did he get inside the Jeep?
You walk, you can't walk long distances.
He doesn't have to walk long distance. You gotta get inside, out the car and on the elevator.
I think he could make it up the stairs.
He made it into the car from outside the house, is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, then he can make it in here. Default judgment against him, he's failed to appear. You never had a lease with these people?
He's with the.
Who did you have a lease with?
The Garcias.
You had a lease with the
And it was
Garcias?
month-to-month lease. I got a copy of it on my phone. It was a month-to-month lease. If the non-payment of rent or I sold the house, they would have to be out in 30 days.
How much time do you need to get your stuff out of the home?
A week or two. I need to find someone with a truck. got a table and some boxes. My China cabinet's broke, so I don't want that.
Where's the keys? Sorry,
I will go on my.
they know they need copies of the keys because you didn't get a lawful eviction. You give them copy of the key today. You got 10 days to get your stuff out of the property and your trash. You understand that? Clean the property out. You don't leave a bunch of junk in someone else's property. You understand that?
All the stuff in there is Roxanne's, the furniture and stuff was all hers. I didn't read it.
I'm not asking you to take anything that belongs to her. I'm talking about trash. Don't take your clothes and then leave a bunch of garbage in there for her to have to dispose of.
Yeah,
You gotta move all that stuff out. And you got 10 days to do it, okay? She's gonna get you the key today. They'll get you a judgment paperwork for today. It's judgment by hearing.
where do we pick up the key? Like, what do we?
Where can they-
I will drop it off at the house. I'll put it.
You meet her in front of the house, she'll drop it off to you. And then, when you are finished getting your stuff out in 10 days, it's your responsibility to turn that key back over to her. You understand that? She's gonna meet you there in 10 days to get her key back.
I don't have a vehicle. I got a ride today here.
That's not my problem. I didn't ask you to get a vehicle. I'm making her provide you a key, and then you gotta give her that key back in 10 days.
I was just wondering if she could drop it off to me,
Drop what off to
the
you?
key.
She's gonna do that today. What do you mean?
You can come where I'm staying and drop it off to me because I have a place. That's
I'm
where I'll be.
gonna meet you at the house and I'm gonna drop it off at the house.
What time?
I don't know what time it is right now, but.
Right now, it's
Give me
3:42.
2 hours. Give me 2 hours to get it there.
You have contact information for each other?
No,
No, you don't have
I
their,
don't have no contact.
okay, you have contact information with her?
Yeah, the phone.
Okay, but she has a car.
Her dad is covered.
Okay, but she has a way to
Your
get,
Honor, I can help with rides.
okay, so it sounds like someone can help you get to where you need to be. Okay, so there's bed bugs,
Bugs, rats.
there's bed bugs.
Yeah, her youngest son lived with us for a while and
I asked,
that's.
bed bugs is a
there.
yes or no question. I didn't ask who
Yes.
caused them. I wanna know if there's bed bugs because I now gotta get building in here to clear our courtroom. That's why I'm asking. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, you can turn over the key. Today you say you'll be there in 2 hours. They're gonna get the key back to you. I'm going to give you a judgment for their eviction and if they don't get their stuff out in 10 days, you would have to come back and get a writ. You do not get to change the locks unless you have a writ. Do you understand that? Okay, any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, you're all set. You can have a seat out there while we get the paperwork. Nothing from August. What do you mean?
No, that's not right. What is that amount rent?
Can I add one more thing?
So how is it?
Your Honor.
Can I add one more? Thing? Me and my son are out of there.
I think that was clarified. I think you
Okay, I just
texted them
wanted
that
to
you
make
were out.
Yes,
I don't think that was the issue, but you said you're not taking all your personal items.
yeah, I just got a few items. The
Sounds good.
Garcias don't, they still got more stuff.
Yeah,
than me.
and you're not, until you remove all your things, you're still maintaining possession.
Okay.
Thank
All
you,
right, thank you.
thank you. need a default for Andres. Let's see. And Adjustment. Okay, Brown and Brown, back on the record in your matter. Okay, so I have here, defendant agreed to pay $810 per month over the next 5 months. For a past due amount of $450, and defendant also agrees to pay regular monthly rent of $450 in addition to past due rent. On due date, which is the 15th, correct? You have the right to be represented by an attorney today. Did you know that?
Yes,
Did you want to waive that right?
yes,
You have the right to have a trial on this matter. Did you know that?
yes,
You want to waive that right?
yes.
Anyone threatening you to waive that right? Or those rights?
Pardon me?
Anyone threatening you to waive these rights?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you've given up, you can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside. Are you interested in letting him maintain the property if he only partially performs the agreement?
Yes.
Okay, so if he doesn't make the full payment, you're still gonna let him stay there because obviously I think this is your brother, correct? Okay, his son, okay, sounds good.
You look that young or do I look that old?
I've got brothers and sisters old enough to be my parents, so I can't speak to that. Okay, let's see here. You have 3 business days, sir, from the time that you leave here today. If you realize you misunderstood your rights, you can return to the court, request to have this set aside, and we'll set it for a hearing for you to explain how you misunderstood your rights, okay?
Thank you.
Do either of you have questions for the court?
No.
We'll get you a copy of the paperwork in just a moment. Thank you. Okay, sounds good. What date is March 11th?
Yeah, Stephanie's in an email.
I don't know about, has the paperwork been sent that day? It's probably all have the 10th on it. Thank you.
Because of inventory, so she said that next.
The paperwork that you've been receiving today that I've signed is, what is the red dates on it? Everything that I signed today? Because it should be the 11th, because we'll close the 10th.
Oh, 310.
Everything needs to be, all of those need to be changed.
Okay.
Well, there's some 326.
Those are fine, but if it says the 10th, it has to be
Change
changed.
to 311.
Correct. who's here on behalf of Venture Flats? Or Cox? You know, someone here for Cox?
That lady.
There's an attorney behind my computer, and the only reason I can see it is because there's a reflection right
For
there.
Osborne.
Okay, which matter are you here for?
LG Everett.
Okay, is your matter ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, LG Everett versus Dominic Oliver, 25-00163. I can't see behind the screen.
That's pretty impressive that you
Yeah,
know.
but there's someone over there.
Well, it was quite full up here.
It was very full. Sir, what's your name? Okay, today was the date scheduled for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. How are we proceeding, counsel?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We have entered into the terms of a conditional dismissal. Mr. Oliver is gonna pay the balance due, which is $1,187.57, in addition to paying March's rent on or before 3/31/25. If he defaults, then plaintiff gets to move for a writ of eviction without further notice or process to him.
You understand that, sir? That's what you want to do? Is anyone threatening you to do that? Okay, you understand that you have a right to be represented by an attorney? You are willing to give that right up today? You also have a right to proceed to a trial today, or a jury trial if you had demanded a jury trial. You understand that? Do you also want to give that right up? Partial performance will not satisfy this, as stated by the attorney. If you don't pay the full amount by the 31st, as you indicated, they can request to have judgment entered against you, okay? Thank you. Yolanda. Yolanda. We'll get your copy in just a moment.
Thank you.
Rest of your afternoon. Same to you. Can you notify administration, please? Mr. Tyra, which matter are you here for? I can't hear you.
Taylor, sorry. Capital Commons versus Taylor.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I don't have an appearance on that one. I thought you were here on Baltic Flats versus Jenkins.
Do apologize, Your Honor. I'm so sorry.
You're not handling Jenkins?
Yes, I am. I'm handling it.
Okay. Cox is on that. Looks like Cox is on all of these. Who's the attorney for Cox? Have you spoken to her or anything? Venture Flats versus Michaela Williams, 24-08816. Is Michaela Williams here? You've not spoken to Michaela Williams today, have you?
No, Your Honor, Sunshine Hard on behalf of that bench North Flats. I did call inside and outside to Miss, for Miss Williams to no avail, Your Honor. She's not here.
Oh, Judge McKinnon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've got rent to retain in this matter, $5,650.46. Court cost amount of $181.50. Total redemptive amount $5,831.96. Your Honor, this is for possession only. And I understand the writ date that you're using is March 11th. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's what we'd be asking for, Your Honor. And again, it's for possession only. To the best of my knowledge, Ms. Williams is not a minor in most of otherwise incapacitated. The unit was kept for its intended purpose and reasonable repair and in compliance with local ordinances for health and safety, Your Honor.
Can you give you a copy of the paper?
I do, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes. And this is Capital Commons versus Shankika Taylor, 24-09-208.
Ready to such pieces at 542, Capital Commons 2.
Elijah Tyler, P 86242, on behalf of the defendant, Ms. Taylor.
Matter was scheduled for hearing today for non-payment of rent. As the parties come to a resolution.
Yes, Your Honor, this is a consent judgment. If I may place the terms on the record.
Yes, please.
Session $2,657. Court cost amount of $172.85. Total addendum amount $2,829.85. Hearing vacate date of March 11, 2025. And all parties are executed document. Your Honor, may approach with the proposed judgment.
Thank you. Mr. Tyler, that's complete and accurate. Ma'am, is this your understanding of how you're going to proceed with the consent judgment?
Yes.
Okay, and that's for the total amount, including court costs of $2,829.25. And you'll pay that or vacate the property by March 11th, 2025.
Yes.
You're giving up your right to have a trial on this matter, correct?
Yes.
Is anyone right? You think you should give that right up?
No.
Well, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the right that you've given up, you can return to the court and request to have this judgment set aside and explain how you misunderstood your right, okay? Got any questions from the court? No. Get your copy of the paperwork in just a moment. Any additional matters, counsel? Thank you. No problem. Then once you're ready, we're ready on your last matter. See, Mr. Kresge?
He's in Judge Board, Your Honor. If you want me to get him.
Yes, please. I didn't see much.
Mr. Kesky, he came in person. He said that in the email, he said that they had got a collection of dismissals. And
Right.
he was gonna appear to be doing. I don't,
That's
that's
what
what
I
closed
thought.
down on my computer, so I don't know.
Oh.
Here or not.
Oh, they're all in the waiting room. It's not letting you back in Zoom?
It's completely closed. Yeah, I don't know. Must have did that.
He's actually on my Zoom. Thank you. Jocelyn Murchison, please start your video. Okay, on the record, in the matter of Steve Davis versus Jocelyn Murchison, 24-09200. Counsel, can I have your appearance, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Don Kesky for the plaintiff. Also on Zoom is Kip Wilson from Renaissance Property Management, agent for the owner.
Okay, very good. And ma'am, state your name for the record. You need to unmute, ma'am. State your name for the record.
Jocelyn Murchison.
Okay, today was the date that was scheduled for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Our office received word that there is a conditional dismissal. Mr. Kesky, please put the terms on the record.
Yes, the agreement is that the defendant owes back rent of $4,599.90 for the period through February 28. Court costs of $163.95 for a total of $4,763.85. The agreement is that defendant is to pay March rent of $995 in certified funds or money order by February 28 by 3 p.m. And then $750 by the 15th of the month, starting on March 15, on for each month thereafter until the arrears are paid in full. All future rental obligations are to be paid on time by the first of every month going forward.
Ms. Murchison, is that a complete and accurate understanding of the agreement that you entered into?
Yes,
Okay, and Ms. Murchison, you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney in this proceeding?
yes,
Do you want to waive or give up that right to be represented by an attorney today to move forward with this agreement?
yes,
You also have the right to proceed to trial, and you could have demanded a jury trial. And that was information that was provided to you at the time of your pretrial. Do you want to give up your right to have a trial in this matter, which also means you're giving up your right to assert any defenses as to why you withheld the rent money?
mm-hmm, yes.
Is that a yes? Okay. Anyone threatening you to get you to do that?
I'm sorry?
Anyone threatening you to get you to give up your right to trial?
No,
Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you've given up, you can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside, and we'll set it for a hearing. Also, Mr. Keski, is the Section 7 check, which requires full compliance with the agreement?
Yes, it is, with the addition that it's subject to the terms in paragraph 3.
Okay, so partial performance, Ms. Murchison, of this agreement will not satisfy the agreement. You need to comply fully with what you said you're gonna do, which is pay the past due rent plus making your other payments on time. You understand that?
yes,
Okay, do you have any questions for the court?
no,
Okay, and Mr. Keski, has she signed or given you permission to sign on her behalf?
She signed the document that we forwarded to you, Your Honor.
Forwarded it on my file?
No, it's not in my file yet, for 2 reasons. One is, you haven't signed it yet, and my understanding is the court will file on my file any orders. And secondly,
Nope. Let me stop you. I'll stop you there. That's incorrect. I sign everything in my file. So that's only as a courtesy if you're in person with paperwork. We don't make you later take the paperwork back and sign it on my file. We will sign it and then put it in. But if you are appearing virtually, you will submit your paperwork electronically, and that way I can review and sign it while it's in my file. So that just for your future reference, okay?
And secondly, we will have to send it in on Tuesday because the people that filed for us on my file are on vacation until Tuesday.
Okay, well, no worries. I'm going I just received a copy of it. So I'm gonna sign it and we are gonna enter this on your behalf today, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see here. Any additional matters for the record?
That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you both. You're all set.
Yeah,
Have a nice day.
I know.
Thank you. And then this is, God bless you. The last matter I have is Baltic Flats versus Dana Jenkins. Let's see. Number 24-09201, council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Hard stop, this is 9542 on behalf of Baltic Flats.
P86242, like Tyra on behalf of Jimmy.
Have a seat, sir. Ma'am, do you need to have a seat? She doesn't need to have a
She
seat.
said she's gonna be out.
I'm all right.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, today was the date set for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Is there a resolution on this?
Oh, judges for termination of tenancy.
My docket says my docket says non-payment of rent.
And also I did say no payment of rent. So, I do believe it's termination of tenancy. That's what they were trying to.
I don't know why the docket says non-payment of rent. Let's see. It is current. Okay, so it should be termination of tenancy. Uh-oh, good job, Lucas. Oh. Is there a resolution?
No,
No,
Judge, we
Your
are
Honor,
unable to
we
come to it.
filed a jury demand, as well as a fee waiver. in this case.
Answer response and jury demand. They should have removed this from the docket. Once the jury demand is filed, it gets removed from my hearing docket so they can send it for jury. So you're all set for today.
Oh,
Okay.
So sorry.
Your Honor, I just would request, and I don't know if you can do this now that it's on the jury trial track. We need to get in and to inspect and treat the unit in the interim.
Unit for what?
Roaches.
Procedure roaches, I believe that they have filed under the assumption that there was roaches and they still haven't done an inspection. I think that caused the veracity of the roaches period into question. So without an inspection, but an inspector did it, but they never followed up. They saying that they haven't been in the unit because they've not been allowed to. But in the interest of trying to make it amicable for everybody, I believe that Diane will be available March 15th for an inspection. I don't think that timeline works for them. That's the earliest she can be available.
Judge, actually, I believe Ms. Jenkins put in a work order. I just spoke with my property manager about it. They were there last week and did notice live activity. We just need to go in and treat. Or inspect
Live activity of what?
roaches.
Exactly. Ms. Jenkins did not put any notes on her power of attorney. I don't know what they think they got from her, but she did not.
I have a property manager here to testify. It was a work order for a broken toilet or a toilet that was not functional.
Oh, yeah, the toilet was overflowed. Yeah. Toilet.
So they noticed live activity last week for German roaches, cockroaches. We just need to get in.
I don't think she wants to live with roaches, no? Don't feel that's
It's
what she
just,
wants. So what's the issue?
she's not
You want us
available
to
until the 15th, and I believe that.
The 15th of March,
Yes.
and you want to go in when?
As soon as possible, Judge.
Like, what's the date?
We can go in today, but I believe that they're not available today. We just want to go in and treat the unit.
Today is the 26th.
Six, correct, Judge.
Why are we waiting 20 days to treat roaches? Counsel,
Your Honor.
you can, she talks to you and you tell me what she said.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
happy to talk, but I didn't know if I was.
She has
allowed.
power of attorney. She works at the University of Michigan in the director level position. The executive orders and a number of other things coming down from the highest office in the land is messing up some of the funding, and they're having to let people go, and they're having conversations about what that looks like. So she's unavailable until March 15th by the nature of the job. That is-
Unavailable during work hours, obviously. Is that what the issue is? During
Monday through Friday.
Monday through
8 to
Friday
5.
and 8 to 9 to 5.
Because the nature of my job is exempt. I am 24. And I'm a little choked up because I'm stressed right now.
I can imagine.
It's being able to do my job appropriately, take care of my sister and bury my brother. I'm overwhelmed right now. and I
I
just
can
need a little
imagine.
bit of time.
I can get that. Is your sister living in the house now?
She is.
You don't live there, though.
I do. I live in Ann Arbor
Okay, so why do you need to be there for them to come in and treat the roaches?
because I have told my sister not to let anybody in that house without me being there. There's scams, there's issues. I would like to be there. I would like to see what they do. See what, so that I have with my own eyes what's happening with my sister.
Okay, but your sister put in a work order for a toilet, and they was in there and you weren't there.
She did come, she basically stated.
One man came in and he fixed the toilet for us
Okay,
and left.
I'm just not a judge. I'm not sure what the issue is. She's living independently. She's put up
Correct.
orders herself. We don't need, we're not scamming her. We just want to treat the unit. We have to
Correct.
do her and the other tenants.
I think that there could be a directive provided from the power of attorney to your sister that she's only allowed, because we don't want her to now think it's free reign to let people come in her home, but that she is allowed to let them in to treat the roaches. That's for her health and safety as well. And we don't want to put that off. And if we know anything about roaches, we know they multiply quickly.
And I purchased spray for her to make certain that when I see her every 2 weeks, I'm able to.
I can appreciate that, but this is an apartment building.
Yes, correct,
And
Your
so
Honor.
we got to keep the neighbors from getting it too.
And Your Honor, we actually prefer them not to self-treat because it might counteract the treatment that the professional exterminator is going to use. I know that's the case for bed bugs. I believe it's similar for roaches, but if she prepares, we can go in and treat and maybe nip this in the bud. It's not as bad as it was last year, but we still need to continue to stay on top of the treatment.
I believe the lease for this place says that it's their responsibility to treat roaches and bed bugs. I could be incorrect, but I just read it not too long ago. And the lease does require the tenants actually to be treated. So I guess I'm confused as to how we do it.
If we could just schedule an inspection, or not inspection, an
Treatment.
inspection and treatment, correct? Treatment at this point.
Well, it sounds like you had an inspection and there was live activity.
It wasn't, it was live activity, Judge, but it wasn't a treatment. It was just, he went in there and saw live activity because of the toilet issue. So it wasn't a treatment for the bug, he
Okay.
was there for something else.
I am going to grant the request to have them be allowed access before the 15th to go in and treat these, the infestation issues so that it doesn't get even greater than what it is. And I can appreciate that you would like to be there, but understanding the conditions of your job, that could change too. You may not be available on the 15th either. Things could come down the pipeline and now you're tied up until after that, and we haven't addressed the issue. I think further instruction can be provided to your sister from you, that she's only to allow them in for certain things, and that she needs to talk to you about what's going on, because you didn't even know that they were in there about the toilet issue. So, but she is living independently. So I think that she's able to be there and be present while they come and treat this issue, and that's for her own welfare as well. So the attorneys can make a contact outside of the court as to what date and time that's going to be, and your attorney will communicate that to you off the record. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I do have one more question, Your Honor,
Yes.
as far, who do I contact for our next trial date?
The clerk's office will set the jury trial date and they'll send a notice.
Yes,
It's a jury trial for termination of tenancy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
Your Honor. Thank you. Yes, please.